Hello the internet, my name's Laura, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing what I said I was going to do in the last video, and that is showing off my begonia collection. And that is actually because and these are both begonias. So I am going to show off my begonia collection, and then I am going to add to my begonia collection with these two plants. So, if you are interested in that, let's get started. Okay, I have gathered all of my begonias right here in front of me, and it looks really awesome for them all to be together. So let's see if I can yeah, there they are. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys each of them. As you probably are aware, first, I'm going to show you my begonia breakdance. If you haven't seen this plant, you probably haven't been around for very long. It is flowering, and I'm absolutely in love with these blooms. I didn't think I was going to be a fan of begonia blooms because they're really not all that fancy, but I love that these ones are speckled. Like, it's not just one solid color. I'm apparently a fan of speckles, so and they're starting to fall off now, but I have this second flower stalk here, and then I just found a third one. So apparently I'm doing good with this plant. Anyway, so the reason that I like this plant so much are these awesome leaves. This is one of the original leaves. It's a little beat up, but I love the red hairy stem. We've got the black with the green running through it, and then the lighter color up here, and then this curl of the leaf. And then obviously this one's damaged, but they just have such a cool spiky shape with the, I mean, the leaf just goes everywhere, and they're just so cool looking. I have just tons and tons of new leaves on this guy that I've gotten that have grown since I've gotten it, and so much so that they're like crowding each other out. Like every once in a while I feel like I have to come in here and kind of like reposition them so that the new leaves that are coming in from underneath actually have some place to go. I never really thought that I would have that kind of a problem with a plant, but just because these leaves are they get so big and they're just so sprawling that, I just feel like I have to keep doing that. But I love that it's healthy. I'm probably gonna have to repot this at some point. I've been eyeing up potential pots because luckily, since this begonias like to have more water, and they like to be kept a little wetter for longer, I'm not going to stick with terracotta like I have for all of my succulents. I'm actually going to have some sort of a glazed pot, and so I've been I have a couple around. You haven't seen very many of them, but I do have them. But this guy is probably going to get potted up sometime this spring because, I don't know, I haven't looked at the roots yet, but I imagine that it's starting to get a little root bound. Got anything coming out the bottom yet? Doesn't look like it, so not too bad yet, but that is my begonia breakdance. Okay, so the other one of the other ones we have here is this. I call the $3 begonia because I got it for $3. This is the original pot from Lowe's. It came in and had some sort of fungus or something on it, and the leaves kept browning and shriveling up and dying. And then at a certain point I was like, this is probably not a good thing. And so I basically cut the entire thing back and sprayed it with the fungicide, the copper fungicide. And it's coming back pretty good. There's the edge of a couple of these that are looking a little like they've got something going on, but for the most part, most of these are all healthy. There are so many begonias out there that have silver leaves like this that I've just been unable to identify it. And then, yeah, because I even have these ones under here where they're coming in with more green. These ones on top are like almost solidly silver. So I call it the $3 begonia because I was unable to identify it. Maybe when the leaves get bigger, I'll be able to like actually go on the internet and find out what type of begonia this is. But it's adorable and cute and I love it, and it's been growing. It grew back pretty well. Like I said, I cut it down to just a few leaves and it's basically regrown to this. So I'm happy with it. It seems to be happy with me. And, you know, hopefully those leaves will get a little bigger before too long. Let's see. I'm going to go for this guy next. This is one of the begonias that I got when I was in Richmond. And, oh, that leaf kind of got crumpled under there. This is Begonia Etna. They've got black leaves with these beautiful pink, sparkly pink designs all over them. They come in, the leaves come in green. Oh, okay. Well, the leaves come in green with silver specks on them, and these ones have already turned to the pink, but they eventually turn into the dark with the pink spots on them, and they sparkle in the sunlight, and some of them have more, like this one doesn't have a whole ton of spots on it, and then other ones have like far more spot of the pink spots on them. So that just seems to be dependent on the leaf. I actually have no idea how many plants there are in here, so it might just be the different plants have a different number of or a different amount of the pink on them. And I've seen some of these at Lowe's. They have this particular species, Begonia Etna, where the pink on them was much more, there was just much more of it. In the same pot with ones that had much less pink on it. If you go back and look at one of my older videos, you can see I debate on whether or not to get one because it does, some of them do have the more pink, and then I decided I'm just happy with this guy because, I mean, it's a pretty big full plant. I think this is, well, besides the Begonia Breakdance, this is the biggest, fullest Begonia Rex that I have. So this is my Begonia Etna, and I'm super happy with it, and it probably also needs to be repotted before too long. Boop. Okay, also from Richmond, this is the Begonia Peter Piper. I got this one because I just love the color on all of these leaves. They've got, you know, some that are more green, some that are darker magenta, some that are orange. That one down there is green. This guy's been kind of interesting in that it's been growing, but it's been growing very, very slowly. Like this leaf, which is still very small and compact, has been growing for over a month now. And I think it might possibly be that it just wants more light because see how leggy it is? Like it needed to get that tall. So I'm at some point probably going to try putting this into some more sun. I know that most begonias don't like a lot of light, but I want to try and put this in a little bit more light and see if I can't get it to grow a little faster and a little more compactly. But because I really like this one, I feel like is one where I want the more leaves because they have all the different colors in them. That the part of the effect is having more leaves, just the fullness of it. So, okay. This is not positive on the identification of this one, but I think it is Begonia Raspberry Swirl. As you can see, the leaves have the little curl. I think it's easier to see it on that one. A little curl, kind of like the escargot. And they obviously look very raspberry swirl-y. But, like, I'm still not sure why this one is so wrinkled and that one is so smooth, and like this one here is coming in with like almost no pink on it. I don't know if it develops the pink later on or what, but my best guess is Raspberry Swirl. And I got this one because of the pink coloring and the curl, because I find that more interesting than just the plain, like, begonia shaped leaves. I tend to like the ones that have a little bit more shape to their leaves, unless they've got some really good color on them. So this one has both, and I would really like for this one to get bigger. This has also been somewhat of a slow grower. Not that I mind, because it does have some good color on it already, but the other one that I got more for the coloring is this Begonia Red Kiss. All of this red, and it's hard to tell in here because I don't have great lighting, but all of this red here sparkles like crazy in the sun. It's like so gorgeous. And so I had to pick this one up, and I actually picked it up as my Valentine's Day gift from my husband to me, because I'm sure he would have wanted me to have a plant. He doesn't know that I did that, but isn't that a nice Valentine's Day gift? Isn't my husband just so wonderful? But I really like this one because of all this, even though the leaf shape is fairly, whatever. Just the fact that these leaves, I mean, even in here, if you look at them really closely, they really sparkle, and that's just nice. This guy hasn't grown super all that fast either, but it's growing. There's some new leaves in here. It's just growing very, very compactly. And I feel like I need to, maybe I don't know, maybe it would do better if it had a little bit more space. It doesn't seem to be root bound yet, but probably all of these guys are going to get potted up sometime this summer. Okay, so those are all of my Rex begonias. And then I have two cane begonias. I have my Begonia Lucerne, which I kept calling Begonia Lucerne. I'm not sure why I always want to drop that A. But these were cuttings that my mother gave to me. It was actually one long cutting, and then I made it into a bunch of shorter cuttings. And so they seem to be doing perfectly well. I stuck this in soil a while ago. I don't remember. But all the leaves have continued to grow. They haven't been getting nasty or like shriveling up or anything, so I'm assuming that it's doing fine, which is great, because sometimes that transition from water into soil can be hard, but this guy, taking it like a champ. This one leaf is new since I've gotten it, and it's now almost as big as the leaves that were on here already when I got it, those two leaves. So it's, and then these guys are all been growing in, and they're doing really well. So I am happy with that guy, and I can't wait for those leaves to get a little bit bigger on that, and for the plant to just kind of get fuller. I also have my maculata whitey eye, which I got from the Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. I didn't think that I liked this guy, like I would see people have it, and because it was a super popular and difficult to acquire plant for a while, but I was never all that impressed with it. And then when I saw it in the store, I was just like, oh no, I do like that. The back of the leaves, the red. Let's see if I can do this without bending anything too much. The back of these leaves is just the most vibrant red, and then all these little dots are nice and sparkly, which I really like. I have definitely fallen in love with this plant. I'm really glad I ended up getting it. And it has been growing. It took a little while to get acclimated to my house, but it's been growing pretty nicely. I've already gotten 2 new leaves, here and there. And now it's growing like there and under here and at the end of this and at the end of here. So it's been growing pretty nicely. And I'm perfectly happy because some of these older leaves, they got a little damaged in the transition from home to here, or from home to here, from Richmond, because I was staying with family. And so they had to hang out there for a while, and then I had to transport them home. And so they just kind of got bleh. I had to cut off the ends of some of them because they got so crispy. But it's really loving my house. It's loving my spot right here next to my humidifier. And it's living its best life. So those are all of my begonia collection. And, oh, I was going to turn it off, and then I remembered, I do have some propagations that I'd like to show you, because I would like to show you. Okay, so I have my little terrarium here, and I have all these cuttings that have been in here for a while. This is the Peter Piper. That's the Begonia Breakdance. I recently cut these leaves off to see if I could get some more off of it because these ones are already growing, and I haven't seen any growth yet. But the Begonia Breakdance definitely took the longest out of all of them. And then I have this Etna cutting. As you can see, that one does not have a lot of the pink spots on it. And I'm not sure that it's going to get any more. Like, I feel like it's going to come out with the number that it has. I also had this Begonia Etna in there, and then I pulled it out and the leaves started crisping basically immediately, which I probably should have foreseen. And then it just kind of continued to go downhill, and it's basically at this point dead. And it's a shame because it had really nice roots on it. And I thought it was going to do okay, but apparently the shift from the high humidity into not humidity was rough, and I tried to save it a little bit by putting it in here with like some moss, and like it's not as quite as deep a terrarium, but I unfortunately lost that guy completely. And now I am more aware, so the next time I pull anything out of my little terrarium, or any of my propagations out of my terrarium, I can probably deal with it a little bit better by not shocking its system quite so much. Okay, and now the moment that you've all been waiting for. We are going to open plant mail. There's stuff on the side too. Oh. I've never gotten any. This is from Steve's Leaves. I have not ordered from them before, but they have a great collection of begonias. I don't know. I don't know whether it's got extra extra permits and stuff on it because of the because of COVID-19, or if it's just always got stuff like that, and I just have not. Whether it's got extra stuff because of COVID-19, or it just always has stuff like that, and I've just never noticed before, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to tilt this down a little bit. You guys can see we've got our paper. And we've got our packing list. 2 pieces. And the what to do when your order arrives. Okay. So, you guys don't get to see that. Okay, so I don't know which of these is which, but I'm going to put it up just a little bit more because So you can see the bottom of my face. I don't know. Is that kind of weird? Oh, wow. This is far larger than I was expecting it to be. Okay. So here we have... Wow, isn't that gorgeous? So this is Begonia Brad's Halloween. It's another Rio... It's the type of begonia like my Begonia breakdance is. And when I saw it, I was just like, yeah. I was not expecting this plant to be this big, but it has... I'm trying to get a leaf kind of unwrapped so that you can see it. But see, it has the same shape as the Begonia breakdance, where it has these pointy leaves and then the curl, and those colors are just, wow. I was actually expecting it to be more black, but I am super happy with the coloring on these. They're kind of a maroony. Some of them, like this one's a little bit more brown, and then these ones are more red, and then these ones here are more green. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Wow. I am so much more happy with this than I thought I was going to be. I mean, I thought I was going to be happy with it. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think I was going to be happy with it, but I am much more happy with what I got than I was expecting. A far smaller plant, and I was not expecting all of this detail on these leaves. Oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous. And then it's got the really nice red on the back, which, you know, everybody loves about begonias, but just look at that. Oh, I can't wait until it starts to spread out, and I'm going to get some pictures of these so you guys can see it even better. But wow, isn't that beautiful? Oh, I am so happy with that, you guys. I am so happy with that, you guys. Wow, 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 wow. And you see the little baby leaves coming in, and oh. Okay, sorry. That's so awesome. Okay, where am I going to put this that I'm not going to... I feel like... Oh, no, it is going to sit up. I just feel like with it all sprawling everywhere, it wasn't going to sit, but it's sitting just fine, so... Okay, here is our second one. Oh, wow. Okay, this one's bigger than I thought it was going to be, too. Wow, I'm super impressed by Steve's leaves. All right. Wow, look at that. Look at those leaves on there. So this is Begonia taconite. Am I saying that right? Taco night. I mean, it literally is spelled taco night, only it's taconite. This begonia is like that rare one that you see, rare, uncommon, when it gets in the light where it shines blue. Only, so that one shines kind of a teal color, and this one looks like it shines a brighter blue. Obviously, I do not have the light down here to get that, but I figured that other one that I should know the name of, it starts with a P. This requires far less humidity than that one does. Like, that one has to be kept in a terrarium in order for it to live. And this one, they claim, can be planted in Zone 7, which is where I live. Which is, I think, pretty impressive. And so this one's not quite as, like, the leaf isn't quite as fancy, like, coloring, but I'm gonna see if I can get that light that it requires so that you can see it blue. And even if not, I'm kind of a fan of it anyway. It's not super fancy, but I still kind of like it. Maybe it's just because it's a begonia. I don't. And again, look how huge this plant is. I was not expecting these plants to be this huge. Like they have, you know, they have on Steve's leaves. I'm crooked. Why don't you guys tell me? on Steve's leaves, you know, they have the adult plant where you can like actually see like the beauty and all the color and the big leaves and everything. And then they have the little picture where they're like, and this is what you'll be getting, and it usually looks like it's going to be like this big, you know, with some leaves. I mean, both of these are just so much larger than I was expecting to get. I am super happy, and they're both in really good condition. I mean, sure, they were a little cramped up, but that's just what has to happen. But no, I'm super, super happy with these. Huh. Oh, and that one's on its own. Interesting. Okay, so I could sit and stare at these probably for the rest of the afternoon, but that might not be interesting for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and, see, I put it down just now and it's falling over because it's not standing up really well with all those. We're going to have to do something about that. That's fine. All right, hang out there. I'll see about getting you guys just set into something heavier so that you don't fall over. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing my entire begonia collection plus 2 plants. And if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and tell me. I don't have a ton of collections of plants like I have begonias, but I'm sure I could figure something out, you know, if you wanted to see something like that. I've got a whole bunch of Haworthias. I guess I should do that at some point. So thank you very much for spending some of your very valuable time with me today, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye-bye.